Good evening, and welcome to the Piper Report. So, Donald Trump, his first 3 months in office has been graded. There has been a grading scale, an aggregate used to determine where Donald Trump's ability as president resides in. First, we should look at the name of the article. 1/3 of voters give Trump an F. That is a perfect example of media spin. Because what does that mean? That means that 2/3 of Americans don't have that same belief. And what we should also know, well, first we'll go over this here. 15% of voters polled give him an A, 22% a B, 15% a C, 15% a D, and 32% an F. First and foremost, the A, B, and C added together is 52%. That means that more than half of the country thinks he is doing an average job to a great job. They could have named their article that way. But moving on here, this 32%, what this 32% represents is a group of voters that absolutely despise Trump. They hate Trump from the get-go because they think he is a racist. They actually don't think he's a racist. They know he's a racist. Their minds are set. So no matter what, Trump can never achieve some kind of reconciliation with them. He will always be despised in their eyes. And therefore, this aggregate used is a really poor example. It depends who they're polling as well. But I think I said this before, and you may have heard me say it before, but Donald Trump could flip-flop on all of his major issues, and he could align with the congressional Democrats, and yet he would still be hated by 32% of the country, no matter what. Because most of them are under this illusion. They believe what the media tells them, that Donald Trump is actually in office for political or for economic gain. His whole point in office is because he is a power-hungry fascist, that he wants to bring the U.S. to how Nazi Germany was. I mean, there are people who actually believe Donald Trump is the next Hitler and that he believes in fascism. He is a fascist. It's unbelievable. And what's even more outlandish is that Donald Trump isn't a fascist, but the federal progressive judges who are negating every single thing he does, that is the real danger to democracy. That is the real danger to the presidency and the separation of powers. But no one ever questions those judges because it's media spin. Because the media says they are doing good work. They are averting Donald Trump from turning this country into a fascist dictatorship. It's truly incredible. It's the federal judges who are truly a danger to our democracy, who are truly ruining, who are destroying the separation of powers. Yet we don't talk about that. We want to talk about clickbait titles of 1/3 of voters give Trump an F, instead of over half agree with him or think he's doing great. What else? 15% of voters, I did that, 38% approve the way he is handling the presidency, while 51% disapprove. 59% say Trump's conduct as president embarrassed them, while 31% said it made them proud. Okay, 59%. What exactly has Trump done as president that embarrassed them? He has been nowhere near as outlandish and as exhibitionist as he was during the campaign. During the campaign, he did say outrageous things. He did, because he was playing the crowd and he was playing the media. He did what his book, The Art of the Deal, said to do. I mean, if you actually read that book, you would see that his whole campaign followed his book step by step, and yet people couldn't figure him out. But as president, what exactly has he done? To be honest, if we are comparing his behavior, his persona as president, as opposed or compared to his campaign, he is relatively boring now. He reminds me of a regular president. He has done nothing as president that would institute this 59%. So what we can conclude from that is that those same people are perceiving Trump's actions like he was during the campaign. And they think that now that he's president, he hasn't changed at all. His persona is exactly the same as it was then. And again, it's not all their fault. But I'm assuming most of these people watch MSNBC. Most of these people watch CNN. Most of these people read Huffington Post. And therefore, they believe that Donald Trump is truly evil. And you can never help what is purely evil. 27% approve of the job Republicans are doing in Congress, while 62% disapprove. That I would agree with. Republicans are doing a horrible job in Congress. When I say I agree with, I think that's even too good for them. Republicans are no different than Democrats in Congress. All they care about is expanding the government, destroying the deficit, increasing the debt, and passing bills and budgets and resolutions and all that stuff that will benefit them and their special interest and their lobbyists who finance them during their campaigns. 35% approve of the job Democrats are doing in Congress. Okay, I think this right here kind of I think this tells us who they polled in this poll here, who they asked about these gradings. Because anyone who thinks the Democrats are doing a good job in Congress right now are either mentally ill or completely naive and are manipulated by the media, which I'm assuming is the latter, because all the Democrats are doing are denying Donald Trump's job as president. They're denying cabinet members. They're on this attack, this mission to completely delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency and all of those who are working with him. They're trying to destroy them. Instead of doing their jobs, what they're doing in Congress, their main job is to attack Donald Trump, like Chuck Schumer, like Nancy Pelosi, like Maxine Waters. Oh my God. Maxine Waters is the antithesis of what a government official should act like. She is only out for her own ego. Just like Elizabeth Warren. She may act like she cares, but when it comes down to it, she is no different than what she thinks Trump is. She is a bully. She is a liar. She is a cheat. And before I wrap this up, I want to say something here. So, back to Liz Warren now. We all know that she is a fraud, but most of us don't know why she is called a fraud. So I will tell you the story quickly. When she was in Harvard, on her application, she claimed to be part Cherokee. So a lot of people didn't believe this, but she wrote it, so they let her have it. Well, 2 Cherokee women then came down, I believe from Canada it was in the northeastern part, and they offered to compare their DNA with her DNA. Because what they would be able to do then is they'd be able to identify some type of similar mitochondrial DNA. Well, she denied them. She denied to do the DNA test. And then, not too long after she denied a test, she changed her ethnicity on the application from part Cherokee to white, to completely white. Now, if that doesn't tell you the kind of fraud she is and the type of lies she does, and if you still believe that she is an honest person with integrity, then I fear that our country is truly damaged. Our country is truly incredibly naive. And being this gullible will, I think, be more detrimental in the future instead of just humorous. And I'm done.